Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Lakeburg Legacies. When we left off in the previous episode, we were having a ton of fun because we had a first kiss between childhood sweethearts Calanth Winterborn and Wolfgang Ashendale. These two, who were born like one day apart, they have known each other since they were babies practically, and they started developing a closer friendship when they were children. And Calanth started apprenticing at the sewing workshop, and I had this idea that they might grow up to be childhood sweethearts. That would be really adorable storyline for them. And lo and behold, at 13 years old, Calanth wanted to spend the day out in the middle of the weekday, and her mother said yes, fine, okay, you can go. She obviously got together with Wolfgang while she was out and about. They had a ton of fun and they ended up having their first kiss, so now they're kind of in love, and I'm in love with the direction they've been going in. However, we did have a death. So Calanth's mentor, Carla, I think, passed away, and then Carla's daughter, Astrid, who is actually no, was it Carla? Is Carla? I think Carla's passed on. Actually, yes. Carla passed on. Right? And then... Wait, Astrid... Yes. Astrid was Carla's daughter. Yes. So Astrid, she became an orphan because her father, the blacksmith, Achille, remarried, this time with Margaret, who already had a daughter, Cecilia, so obviously there was no space for little baby Astrid to come into the family. She got left out on the streets all by herself. Thankfully, Ursula and Randall adopted her, so now, she is a member of the Brielle family. And now I'm also realizing that poor Calanth does not have a mentor. She's 13 years old. She does not have a mentor because, like I said, her mentor passed away. And at the sewing workshop, every other seamster and seamstress already have apprentices of their own. Like Mirabelle, who is, hold on a second, she's Mabel's niece, but Mirabelle is over here, so is Althea and Han. So literally there's no space for, unfortunately, there's just no space for Calanth at the sewing workshop. However, Calanth also has an interest in carpentry. So, at 13 years of age, she is going to, I think, see a bit of a switch, a bit of a change. And she is going to be apprenticed to Margaret. So where is my Calanth? Calanth is going to move over to the carpenter's workshop, which, to be honest, I think is needed. We need more carpenters and the like. So Calanth, we have plenty of sewers that are gonna, even in the future come into being, but we don't have nearly enough carpenters. So yes, you are going to now be mentored by Margaret. And I think actually Calanth is gonna be the first carpenter's apprentice we've ever had, which is just great. It is just fine. And let's get time going, guys. Let's see what happens in Lakeburg. Okay, and Slavomir has died of hunger at 63 years of age. I'm kind of thinking about this, but we have not had anyone reach 70 years of age. Nobody's reached their 70s ever. The max has been, I don't know what the max has been, but it's been somewhere in the 60s. But Slavomir has passed on, guys. Slavomir, one of our hunters, and now we only have 2 hunters. So I think it's even more important that some of these other industries, like the farms, harvester's barn, fisherman's hut, that they are, figuring things out, because we're not going to have nearly as much meat anymore. Because of how well we were doing with hunters for many years, we have this huge stockpile of meat, but now we're kind of losing 12 each year. So hopefully one of the other food industries kind of strengthens by the time we lose even more hunters, and the hunter's cabin becomes empty. For now, though, that's kind of where we are at, and I still don't think we have enough money for iron. I think we need 1,400 for iron, so we're just gonna have to let things go by. Okay, I am noticing some things. Nathan and Eloise are disgusted. Why are they disgusted? I'm pretty sure they are like lifelong friends. They love working with each other. They get along very well. I'm gonna interpret this as maybe them spending some time fishing with each other, and maybe they pulled up an eel or something that they don't really deal with very often, and they both got disgusted by that. It was a bonding moment, you know, it was a bonding moment more than anything. Okay, and also, okay, wait, Dora and Hubert have met each other. Of course. Of course. Dora recently became a farmer, so I would think that the other two would be kind of grateful, like Josephine and Hubert would be grateful that Dora is helping out at the farm, but no, Hubert's just a cranky old man at this point. He and Dora have not made a good impression on each other. Maybe he feels like... Actually, isn't Nathan, your father is being mean to your wife, Nathan. Your father is being... Maybe he has very... I don't know. He expects his daughter-in-law to be a certain way, and she's not, and he's annoyed by that, which is so silly. Come on, Hubert. Come on. That was an interesting connection. Did not even cross my mind that it's his daughter-in-law. But yeah, Dora is Hubert's daughter-in-law. How are they going? Ambience is bad. Everyone hates each other. Hubert is the biggest problem, to be honest. He's the biggest problem. He's bringing their personal lives into their professional life. But okay, that aside, what did I notice? Did I notice something else? I don't know if I noticed something else. Might not have, but between the couples over here, do Hubert and Beatrice... Oh wait, I was just saying that nobody's reached like their 70s. I lie, because Beatrice is 72. The most beautiful woman in Lakeburg is 72. My goodness. Does he have history with Beatrice? I don't think he does. No, he has no history with Beatrice. You know what? I'm kind of thinking, because Hubert would he be out on the street? We need to check the flippin' households, actually. We need to check the households, because the males, you know, they can't hold property, but sometimes they kind of slip under the radar. So it's good to check from time to time and kick out the people who should be kicked out. No, he is out on the streets, like he's actually out on the streets, but he might try his luck with Beatrice, because it's not that big of an age difference between them. He's 63, she's 72. I'm like surprised Beatrice is still croaking. Okay, he's gonna go for her. He's gonna ask her out on a date. They don't really are compatible. Not at all. They have disagreements with the dueling and cuddles, but they agree that they dislike kittens. We'll see how this goes. Okay, they're going out on a date. They're starting off at the hill by moonlight. We could say it's time to duel or share a recipe for dessert. We'll share the dessert recipe. Beatrice is so keen on sweets. Caramel, jam, candy. Clearly everyone on this date has a sweet tooth. And then we're going to go to the inn. We could talk about the importance of cuddles, or say that food at the banquet was disgusting. We're going to go with the food. But Beatrice doesn't dare ask Hubert if he is as keen about second breakfasts and afternoon tea as she is. And they are going to have a loveless marriage, but you know, a marriage of convenience, which is fine. Obviously at their age, they're definitely not looking to have any kids. I'm just curious though. Hold on a second. Where would they be? They would be... What family is she from? The Olwen family. Where are the Olwens? The Olwens are like slipping... Okay, they're all the way over here. Yeah, there is no way. Like, geez, at 72. Heck, there's no way they're having kids. But I think someone's expecting a baby. I want to check real quick. Like, who's expecting a baby? I have a feeling that someone is. These guys want a baby, but no, someone's actually expecting. There we go. The Wycliffe family, guys, are expecting a baby. So Effie and Oliver is finally having a kid of his own. My goodness, after all that running, you know, They say rats breed very fast, but he sure took his time. Now with Effie, he's gonna have his first child, and Effie has not had a child before this point. Is anyone else expecting a baby? Yes, the Stark family. So Dora and Nathan are expecting their first child together. Actually, no. Nathan has already had a child. He's had Cecilia. He has a daughter. He has a daughter with Margaret? Yeah, he has a daughter with Margaret. My bad. But this is Dora's first child. So wait, Dora's baby and Effie's baby are gonna be born at the same time, like in the same year. Okay. I wonder if we're gonna have another set of childhood sweethearts. That would be interesting, actually. Well, those guys are having their little ones, and I think that's it. We have basically 2 pregnancies. We have 2 pregnancies in the kingdom, in the town, that we're thinking about and looking forward to. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, I guess the marriage between Eloise and Lucius did not last very long, and they are getting divorced. And since these are the only 2 ones we have that are divorced right now, they're gonna have to wait it out. There's no one else in the marriage mart for them right now. No one else in the marriage market. Okay, let's keep going and chugging along. Okay, one of the babies was born, apparently. Hold on a second. Malus and Brynjar have become sworn enemies. Yeah, Malus and Brynjar. That is like the most extreme place they could have taken this. They have decided to make the Mason's workshop an absolutely miserable place, apparently. It's Brynjar is doing this mainly. He's the one instigating her. But there is no peace in the Mason's workshop. It's like a miserable place to work at this point. But okay, the Stark family has just welcomed in a little baby. Hold on a second, okay, we have a little girl who is humble. We're gonna change her name. This is going to be Hermione Stark. That's cute. She has her mother's hair and then her father's skin and eyes. Okay, little baby Hermione, welcome. I think this means, though, that the other baby is going to be born really, really soon, because they had the time was really quick, where they were supposed to be, like when we were looking at the pregnancies, they were going to be born really close together. Ursula has died, our 51-year-old Mina. Ursula Brielle. Oh no. Poor little Ursula has passed on. Okay, hold on. Who do we have? So that was with Randall. And didn't they just adopt a little baby? They just adopted a little baby. Okay, well, Eloise, you don't have any history with Randall. I think Eloise is going to ask Randall on a date. This is going to serve as a bit of an issue because Randall is the adoptive father of Astrid, who's only 1 year old. Like, this child has just gotten some stability in her life. If this date works out, she's going to be back out on the streets and some other family's going to have to adopt her. But okay, let's go do the matchmaking. Yeah, let's do the matchmaking and see how things go for them. Okay, Eloise. Let's take a look at you, Eloise. She's gonna ask, geez, Randall out on a date. She's 36, he's 20. There's a bit of an age gap between them. But okay, not Lucius, Randall. Yeah, they have awful affinity. I don't think they would kind of get along anyways. They have a disagreement about meditation, but who cares? Let's go for it. Okay, we're starting off with the boat rides. We could talk about fishing spots or painting. Eloise's new passion. We'll go for painting. Think of the colors, the pigments, the light. Randall is truly fascinated by everything Eloise tells him. And then we're at the Hill by Moonlight. We could ask for his opinion on divinatory pseudosciences or propose the idea of picking flowers. We're gonna go with flowers. What a silly idea. Why not leave those flowers in peace? Okay, it is going to be a loveless marriage between the two of them. But hey, even though they've got an age gap, Eloise is way younger than Randall's ex-wife. You know, way younger. Okay, yeah, they're gonna get married, and I feel so bad for little Astrid, but she is going to end up on the street. She literally just found a family, and now her stepfather, or not a stepfather, his adoptive father, different. He's going to leave her for his own comfort, guys. He's gonna leave her. So poor Astrid, this little baby, is back out on the streets. She's an orphan again. I haven't had anyone become an orphan like twice in 2 separate events. But yeah, she's an orphan, guys. Poor little one's an orphan. Now, Lucius is the only single one. And I think Astrid is Hubert's little girl, isn't she? Yeah, no, Achilles, sorry. She's the blacksmith's little girl. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And we just had the other baby born. Oh my goodness, Esmeralda. Esmeralda, our minor, our last minor. We have no minors left. Esmeralda has died from going a bit too far. Esmeralda Ashendale met an untimely end after throwing herself against the doors of a newly constructed shed, hoping to prove its sturdiness to those around her. The frail construction collapsed directly onto Esmeralda Ashendale, killing her instantly at 46 years old. And now we have 0 miners, like no one is working the mines. Thankfully, we have like a ton of iron, but no one is working the mines. And we just had a little baby born in the Wycliffe family. I think it's a boy. Yes, a little ascetic baby boy. His name is going to be Eamon Wycliffe. So let's take a look. He has his mother's hair and eyes, and actually no, he's got his mother's hair and his father's skin and eyes. Because his mother's eyes, yeah, it's like not as saturated as the father's, and the baby has the definitely more blue eyes, not really as like faded as the mother's. So, little baby Eamon Wycliffe, welcome to the family. So Eamon and Hermione are born at the same time. They kind of look very similar, except one has green eyes and one has blue eyes. How fascinating, how fascinating. Okay, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. We're gonna just keep going, and okay, nothing else is standing out right now. Oh, Marie and Nathan just became enemies. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Wait, I don't know how I feel about this. So Astrid, thankfully, she's getting adopted by Drusilla, a lumberjack who's 61 years old, and seems to Everard, who's 64. And the reason why I'm saying I don't know how I feel about this is because this feels like a very unstable family because of their age. If something happens to Drusilla, Astrid is going to be back out on the streets. Like, can a child be more unfortunate than this? This is her second go at it. But she's going to be taken in by the Knapp family. So we'll give her the joy of a new set of adoptive parents. At this rate, just imagine, by the time she becomes a young adult, she's going to be related to everyone and unable to actually, you know, be with anyone. That would be the real tragedy, wouldn't it? That would be the real tragedy. Okay, Marie and Nathan have become enemies. Of course they have. They had to bring some chaos into the bakery. The ambience, it's still kind of good enough. Thankfully, everyone except Marie is like holding their ish together. Marie's just determined to be at odds with Nathan. I'm kind of thinking, what if Marie doesn't approve of Nathan and Eloise getting too close to each other? What if that's her thing? What if she doesn't approve of them getting too close? Maybe she feels like they're closer than they need to be? I don't know, perhaps. That aside, Nathan and Eloise are pleasantly surprised. So despite the disagreements that Nathan is having with Marie, he went out, had some nice fishing time with Eloise, maybe told her about how he's at odds with her mother, and he maybe feels a little bit guilty about that, but Eloise pleasantly surprised him by saying, it's okay, I'm not going to judge our relationship based on, you know, the one you have with my mother. We are two very different people. Even though I love her, she is unique sometimes. Yeah. Okay, okay. Very interesting, very interesting. And oh, okay, we have enough gold to expand the granary, but the granary is not yelling at me right now. I would prefer to wait a little bit. Oh, Alana and Brian have just gotten a divorce, guys. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Out of the widow? Being a widow, Eldrick would like to move on. So does Randall, who's hoping to see his life shine brighter. By dint of running into each other on market days, moping, they frequently end up talking to each other and quickly begin to appreciate each other's company. What little push would they really need? Oh, Edric was 42 years old, a hunter, and this is Wolfgang's father, Eldrick, and then Randall, 20-year-old man of the evening. We could say a drinking buddy, and both of them would get the drunk trait. Or we could say a new chapter to their life, and they would get married. I mean, if they get married, though, they're going to be out on the streets because of the way that Lakeburg works. So I think a drunk buddy, yes, well, a drinking buddy, if anything. So they're going to get the drunk trait. I mean, hey, marriage till death do us part is fine for a while, but at some point, better to go philosophic over a good beer than hunt for a new love, which will end badly anyway. A good friendship forged in the dark flames of alcohol and sorrow. Now that's the real thing. Okay, well, they are going to get married, and Evrad has just died in his sleep. This is what I was worried about. The Knapp family that just adopted Astrid. Yeah, well, her adoptive father just died. Evrad had been suffering from a minor sleepwalking syndrome, and one night his tired mind confused a window for a door. Unfortunately, his bedroom was not on the ground floor, and the error proved fatal. At 64 years old, he just passed away. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. So Godric and Sapphire have become friends, which is cute. Godric and Sapphire have become friends. Did they work together potentially? Yes, I think they do. He's a seamster, if I'm not mistaken. He is a seamster, and so is she, and apparently they get along well with each other. They are friends. Okay, so they're colleagues that actually like working with one another, which is wonderful. So that makes me happy. Aside from that, obviously with the deaths, we have some couples now. Do we have any families that are male only? Oh, wait, who was Eldrick married to? Who was he married to? Esmeralda? Oh, that's right, she died. Okay, well, Wolfgang. Where are the Sabrons? Where are the Sabrons? Yeah, because now Eldrick and Wolfgang, guys, they just lost their house because Wolfgang's mother died. So they lost their house. Who else? Do we have anyone else? Hold on. Do we have anyone else? I don't think so. They were the only ones. And then Lucius is single. And so is Brian. Okay, well, when we come back, look at the amount of empty houses we have. When we come back, guys, we have some matchmaking we need to do. Because suddenly we have 3 males and 2 females who are in need of partners. So yeah, we're going to have some matchmaking that we're going to do when we come back. And we'll kind of see which direction things go in. I think with the deaths as well, there are like even more vacancies. Maybe some people in town have kind of changed their aspirations or their potentials, you know, that's shifted around a little bit. So we'll see if there's anyone who wants to fill in a vacancy. But okay, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.